वीडियो नहीं आया, नहीं आया वीडियो। अच्छा वीडियो Om Shanti. Pleasant good evening. Welcome to Shanti Sarovar, Brahma Kumari's Oasis of Peace in Hyderabad and in South India. As all of you, since 3 months, we are at home and we are looking after our mental selves, emotional selves, and physical selves to empower our own selves. So again, we started Sunday evening talks. This was a big vacuum in many people's lives. Many people has requested that we want it more and more. So again, we started since last week. So this week, once again, welcome to you all to Shanti Sarovar, the pleasant, serene premises of Brahma Kumaris, Hyderabad. So today we will be having the topics on emotional engineering. So we have heard many engineering things. We have heard physical engineering, engineering courses in different ways. So what is emotional engineering? Since you have heard and seen the brochure, you might be thinking of how we can empower ourselves emotionally. So let's see today what it is, how we can empower ourselves emotionally, because the root cause of all the diseases in present day is emotional imbalance. Root cause of many things, all the diseases physically and mentally is emotional imbalance. So how we can empower ourselves emotionally and how we can go with the emotional engineering. So for that, we have a very, very special guest, Dr. Mohit Dayal Gupta. I wholeheartedly welcome Mohit Bhai onto the Zoom meeting. So
Thank you so
welcome
much.
to Hyderabad Shanti Sarovar for
Thank
refreshing Sunday evening talks. So this is first time we are hearing you in Sunday evening talks. Of course, we have heard you many times in Hyderabad in our auditorium also. A few months back, we have heard you and it was a very, very pleasant and very empowering talk. We have gotten so many feedbacks from your session also. Thank you for being today's facilitator. So Dr. Mohit Dayal Gupta is basically cardiologist working as a professor of cardiology in GP Pant Hospital and medical superintendent of cardiac sciences. He is also the cardiologist in Parliament Health NHC for honorable members of Parliament and others also. And in his credit, there are so many awards he has received. Dr. Gupta has a distinct achievement of getting more than 18 gold medals and 5 silver medals in his medical career. And of course, other than that, also he has been recipient of prestigious DP Basu Memorial Award for the Young Scientist of the Year by Cardiology Society of India, as well as he has received Excellence in Cardiology 2018 by Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare. And he is excellent researcher in genetics. He was awarded Bishan Swarup's Young Scientist of the Year Award in 2018 by Honorable Vice President of India. And he has more than 150 publications in his credit. He has been instrumental in starting research work and investigating adjunctive role of meditation in coronary artery disease. And it is so nice that he's been with Brahma Kumaris for nearly 35 years. He is practicing Raj Yoga meditation for past 35 years, means since childhood he is with Brahma Kumaris, and regular meditator of Brahma Kumaris Raj Yoga meditation. And he is with the Brahma Kumaris different projects. And of course, he's a very well-known anchor for various TV programs in Asta, Jagaran, Sony Entertainment, and of course, Brahma Kumari's Peace of Mind channel. And he has been panelist in many of the programs like Zindagi Bane Aasan. And he has spoken in different sessions in different institutions. Other than medical, also, he has uh, given many talks in different organizations and government organizations, private and semi-private. So today is a very special day to have him, and we welcome Mohit Bhai onto the link, and let's see what he has to share on emotional engineering. Over to Mohit Bhai.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sister. And greetings from Delhi to all of you who have joined from different parts of Hyderabad and other places also, probably some other places also. It's always a pleasure to connect to our larger family. And today is no different day. And as we go ahead today, let us take another dip into the sea of webinars. And this is another one in the series. We have been having so many of them all over. But this one is very, very pertinent for the current times, very, very important as far as, the current times is concerned. And today we are going to talk about emotional engineering. Emotional engineering is one of the topics which is very, very important for us to understand, because we all know that today life has speeded up. It has speeded up undesirably. And in this speeding, somewhere, somehow, every one of us is getting unwell, either physically or mentally, but diseases and everything are on an increase. And you all would resonate with me when we talk about this. We have physical wealth, we have, materialistic wealth, everything. But when we talk about our emotions, our stability, probably that is one thing that each one of us is losing or compromising as our speed of life is increasing. Every day we face people, we meet different situations, we have memories of the past, we have worries and concerns of the future. And whenever we are meeting different people, different situations, we are remembering the memories of the past and we are concerned about the future, it leaves us with a gamut of emotions. It leaves us with various emotions, and that emotional interplay is often imbalanced. And that is why our reactions, our responses in life are often imbalanced. We are always trying, we're always searching for that simple sweet spot. That where is it that we can find our happiness? How can we maintain our stability despite having the most turbulent of these situations? And in this search of this sweet spot, we are unable to find that because of the lack of coherency. Our brain is telling us something to do. Our heart is saying us something, And when there is imbalance, there is lack of coherency, there is complete emotional instability in life. But when we have a coherent heart and brain working together, it is then when we are able to understand and experience emotional stability. But once it is not there, what we keep on experiencing is stress in our life. That is emotional instability or turmoil in our life. Many of us ask that what is stress for us? How do we understand what actually stress is for me? Stress actually is defined by the pressure of the situation. What is the pressure that you are facing divided by your coping skill? Very simple. If your pressure is very high of the situation and the people, and the coping skills are low, the stress will be very, very high. Like it is happening today. Most of us are finding the pressure unbearable. And that is why you see many times people taking some really disastrous and really bad, terminal steps in their life. But the moment we are able to empower ourselves, we are able to develop our coping skills, our emotional stability, it is then that we experience that we actually that we actually are able to manage this stress in our life. This is the beauty. This is the beauty of emotional stability. We must understand that smooth seas will never make us skillful sailor. So we can never have a life which is according to us, that everything is running perfect, everything is going on the way I want. People will not be the way I want. Situations will not be the way I want. But still, I have to sail through in those times, in the present times, when the situations are not according to the way I want, when people are not according to the way I want. What is happening? The mask that each one of us wearing, that pseudo mask that almost 90 to 100% of us are wearing throughout the day, that goes off. Behind that smiling face, behind that face comes out a really troubled life. A life, where we are actually hiding our emotions. We are fighting with our emotions. We are trying to deal with this emotions. Don't you think so? Everybody is trying to, keep themselves busy in their webinars, in doing something professional work, in some other kind of work. Everybody is trying to keep busy. Some are playing games, some are trying to talk to each other. But where is a group of people who are working on their mind, working to develop their own emotional skills? And when such kind of situations come in our life, it is then that behind every mask, our face comes out. And behind that face, the story of our life, of your life, that is unraveled, where you are able to experience the pain that is going in your life, where that real pain, that real worry, that concern that we feel in our life is unraveled. When these turbulent situation comes, and when we are able to not maintain that emotional stability, the story is unraveled. Look at this. March 22-25, just the beginning of the COVID pandemic. 2,000 people interrogated by BBC. 75% already started feeling that their mental health is significantly deteriorating. This is March only, and now it is June end. 90 to 95% of the people in this pandemic are already grabbed by the feeling of fear, of worry, of uncertainty, and of panic. Everybody is thinking that what is going to happen? How am I going to do? What is future holding for me? What is going to happen to my children? Am I going to come out of this particular times? The world will actually be known as the pre and the post COVID era. This is so much pertinent for us to understand that if we have to deal with these situations, these are really negative situations which are having effect on our immune system, on our heart diseases, on our autonomic health, everything. The excessive release of the stress hormone cortisol, it is having very serious effects on physical as well as emotional health of our body. So while as doctors we are all managing one pandemic, we are already in the midst of another emotional pandemic. That emotional pandemic that most of us are going throughout the day. But there is one thing which is very interesting, that when life is unsure, when nature is unsure, when policies are unsure, when people are not sure, then nothing is sure, everything is possible. That means it is our own conscious choice that where we direct our life to go. Is it towards positivity or optimism, or is it toward pessimism or negativity. It's a conscious choice that each one of us have to create. Look at this. While our life was going relatively comfortable, when suddenly something
Nothing
wrong
is,
comes,
nothing is sure.
most of
Everything is
us, most of us, most of us are succumbing to this challenge. Most of us are succumbing to this challenge. And while we succumb to this challenge, we falter in our life. We become emotionally unstable. But very few of us take this as an opportunity to fly away. It's our own conscious choice. It's all about creating a balance that what are we holding on to and what are we letting go? What are we prioritizing in our life? Is it our work? Is it our money? Is it our dreams? Or is it our happiness and life that is more important, which is more, that should be the base of our present times. It's all a conscious choice that each one of us have to create in our life. Reflect on this journey. Each one of you prioritize that what are your priorities in your life. So my dear friends, in today's journey, I'll be steering you through to the understanding of the emotional outburst, the science behind the emotional reactions. What is the science? Why are you behaving the way you actually behave? If the transformation has to happen, who is going to transform? And what are those simple techniques to transform? We don't have to do something extraordinary, but you have to do those ordinary things in your life, but little bit extra. And that extra is the vibrations and the energy that you put into ordinary things. That is what makes you extraordinary, to win over your own self. And then we will end this session by a reflective meditation. So get set going on this beautiful journey. And as I'll be putting forth questions and some of the people would be answering, reflect on your life, switch off all the other medias and be with us on this beautiful journey, transforming journey, where you will understand that the power is nowhere. You can create your conscious future once you choose to do so. So all of you have heard this thing, isn't it? Have you heard this particular saying? Life is 10% of what is happening to you and 90% of how you react to it. Have you heard this thing? Yes or no? Tell me.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes. Yes.
So
yes. We had
commonly, n number of times, right? From our childhood, we have been reading this, we have been writing this, we have been teaching this, we have been trying to preach this. But there is a serious problem in this, very serious problem in this. And that serious problem is in the word react. Whenever we choose to react in our life, whenever we choose to react in our life, the reaction is often instantaneous. It is often a burst. It is often emotional and unbalanced. And often it is judgmental, and quite commonly it is negative. Why this is happening? Let us understand this. Let us create a situation. All of you create this situation. All of
Traffic.
us, hundreds of us who are on the YouTube, who are on this particular today discussion, all of us are starting from our home, and we have to go from place A to place B. Create this situation. We are all going in our separate cars, and here you are stuck up in this traffic jam. We all have to go for the same meeting, very important meeting. We can't miss it. But all of us are stuck up in the same traffic jam. And my question to you is very important. My question to you is, will all of us behave similarly in this traffic jam or differently? Only one word answer.
Different.
Differently. So you will see 90 to 95% of the people will have these kind of reactions. We will start honking our car, isn't it? Some of you will say, oh, what is happening? Come on, I have to hurry up. I have to reach there. And some of us will really be in unstable state of mind. We will have that feeling of irritation first, then anger. We will start shouting, what is going to happen? Oh, I'm going to really miss some important meeting. Oh, heavens are falling. I really have to rush. And some of us will have the extreme emotional outburst. Very commonly, we see that. We go jump out of our cars, go in front, start shouting, start fighting with each other. And rarely we often take terminal or really negative steps. This is 90 to 95% of the people. But there is 5% of us, only 5% of us, who choose to remain absolutely calm in this situation. Absolutely calm. They're unaffected. They will say, oh, come on. They call to their office. I'm stuck up in a traffic. I cannot help this situation. I'm ready, available on particular internet, or I'm available on a call, and they will get busy enjoying some music, reading something, and they will start doing their job, isn't it? But this is only 5% of the people. There is a vast difference. And why? Let us understand this. Who is responsible for our response? Who is responsible for our response? Is the situation responsible for our response, or I am responsible for my response? What would my friends say?
I am responsible.
I am responsible. Would anybody differ? Is situation influencing my response, or I am responsible completely for my response? Tell me.
Myself.
Myself. You say myself. That is why this is happening. See this. When most of us, 90 to 95% of us, are working on an autopilot mode, in a reactive behavior. The moment stimulus comes, we react. The moment stimulus comes, we react. The moment stimulus comes, we react. A situation comes, we react. And reaction is instantaneous and often negative. It is impulsive. But there is 5% of us, only 5% of us, and what they do in their life. What they are doing is they are also getting the same stimulus. They are having a simple difference that they pause in between. The difference between the stimulus and the reaction is the word called pause. The moment we choose to pause in our life, the reaction is transformed into a response. The reactive behavior changes into a mindful behavior. When we say that we have to pause, that means we are using our thought power, our mind power, our brain power to discern. This is 95% of the people. 95% of the people not using, not understanding that situation has nothing to control, no control over their mind, but they give complete control by not pausing. And those 5% of the people, what they are doing is they are pausing. They choose to think, oh, this I cannot help, so let me have a thoughtful behavior, and they change their reaction to response. My dear friends, we must understand that challenges in our life are never ending. They're going to be there. This is you in between. This is you in between. We have challenges from our family, our relations, always going to be there. People are not behaving. They are not doing the things according to the way I want them to do. We have professional challenges in our life, always there, professionally. Pressures of the people, pressures of the situation to perform. We have social challenges. How people are behaving, what the way, I am doing, how we are going to do, everything is differently doing, everything is started going to do. And then we have nature and policies of the government. But remember, all these things, everything that we are seeing is having impact on your psychology, only on your mind. Everything is affecting your mind. You have to decide the way we behave. We have the power. And let us see, if we are behaving properly, if we are behaving in a mindful way, if we are behaving the way we should be, then check all these things. Do I get stressed easily? Am I having the feeling of that anxiety and overthinking in my life? Do I feel that I keep on holding grudges for the people and I don't let go of those grudges in my life? Do I often feel misunderstood? Oh, people are not understanding. I never meant what I am actually saying. Do I practice blame and get offended easily? I am assuming that assumptive behavior is very common. If any of these is there, if any of these is there at any moment. My dear friends, this shows that we are emotionally unstable, emotionally unstable. But, but if you think, if you think that none of these things are present in your life, you are free of all these things, that my humble request to you is, please log off. This session is not for you. You are an emotionally stable person. You don't need this particular session. But if you think that we are embodiment, we are having these feelings at least once in an hour, in a day, or even in a minute or frequently, let us move ahead. Because situation is always going to generate an emotional reaction. And when that emotional reaction stays on for some weeks, we are in a mood. People say, oh, what happened? I'm in a mood. I'm in a bad mood. I'm in a good mood. You see, today the mood of the people is fear, panic, worry, uncertainty. When this mood is carrying on for more few months, this yields us a temperament. What is the temperament? Oh, he has a very bad temperament. But when we carry on with this temperament for more and more months and probably an year, it yields us a personality. These times are giving us a personality. We have to choose what mood we are in. And that is why we say, I'm an angry person, I'm an anxious person, I'm a happy person, I'm an irritated person. These are the gamut of emotions, continuously generating those emotions, continuously becoming a conglomerate of those emotions is what is going to yield you a personality. My dear friends, your emotional stability, your calmness is ability to withstand those difficult situations, ability to handle adversity, but yet remain productive and capable throughout. This is what is called the emotional stability, and what commonly now what we are using is the adversity quotient of one human being. Adversity, the ability to manage those adversities. Your intelligence quotient gives you a job. Your emotional capability will give you a promotion. Your spiritual quotient will enable you to maintain stability, to maintain calmness in those situations. And when you are having all those threes, that is where you have a very beautiful adversity quotient, where you're able to maintain and tide over the turbulent times. It's your choice, completely your choice, that in which direction you want your life to go, positive or negative. So one thing we all understand, we all know that we have to bring a transformation. If all of you are here with us, none of you have chosen to log off, and in fact few people are joining us more, then we all understand that we need to transform. My question to you is that we have two choices. Either we transform the people, we transform the nature, situations, professional life, we transform the policies, and we work on the people outside. This is one way of doing. And the second way is we transform our own self. Which one of you do you think is more easy and better in these times? Which one of you do you think is common and more doable in these times? What do you
We
think?
transform ourselves.
We
We
transform
transform
ourselves
ourselves.
logically. If we spend our time to transforming people, it is never going to happen. And if we want to transform ourselves, the simple thing is to transform your processor. That basic processor through which the information is being processed in the brain. You transform, you change it, and your whole life will be changing. You see, you are all different people from different backgrounds. See, if you are basically changing the software of a machine, you change the basic processor, the output will change. That is why we need to understand that in today's session, we are going to work on our own selves. Each one of you are going to work for your own self. This is your journey, and this is going to be a magical journey for you. I have attended, listened, and seen hundreds and hundreds of webinars, people, symposias, and HR guys talking about transformation. How many times in your life you say, asking people to behave properly, asking people to be positive, asking people to be peaceful, teaching people to be more, to meditate, asking people to be happy, to be stable. We keep on telling our children, our family, our own selves to please behave properly, isn't it? So commonly we do that. And I have learned to live in my life that we cannot change the behavior of a person. One thing, most important thing that each one of you should understand today is never try to change the behavior of any person, because this is one thing you will never be successful in doing. Very, very important. Because even if you're able to do, you will be able to do it only for a few minutes or few seconds, or probably for one particular situation. And the reason for this is because behavior is the function of our beliefs. Until and unless I believe that I have to do this particular thing, my behavior would not change. Bring that same situation, the traffic situation. 95% of the people believed that traffic is stressful, and they behaved in a very erratic and angry manner. But 5% of the people, they believed that traffic has no control over their emotions, so they behaved in a very mindful and responsive way. Belief is rational, belief is evidence-based, and belief is logical, my dear friend. So what we are going to do today is we are going to generate new set of belief in our own mind. The moment we give new belief system to our own self, automatically our behavior will transform. And once our behavior is transformed, we become a change of emotions in our life. Very, very important for us to understand. Easy for us to understand. Same belief is going to give us the same life. But the moment we change the beliefs, it's a different life altogether. So I'll request one of you, any one of you, probably one of the brothers who is answering, to reflect on this picture. See this picture and describe what you are able to see in this picture only in 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quickly you do that. Quickly. Come on. What are you able to see in this picture?
He is confused.
Huh?
He is confused.
He's confused. You are able to see a person who is confused. Very good. What else? Come on, come on. What are you going to see? One person,
Fire.
only one person.
Fire.
Very good. What else? What else? Very good. What else?
Greenery is also there.
Greenery is also there. Fire is there. Person is there. He seems to be angry. What else? Anything else you can see? Anything else you can see? Okay, chalo.
Clouds. Clouds.
What?
Clouds.
Clouds also. Okay, okay. Now, I ask you to see, what are you able to see in this picture? What are you able to see in this picture? Do you see a person?
Farmer.
You see a farmer. What is this?
Paddy field.
This is a paddy field and this is a house, isn't it? Are you able to see
house
that?
Farmer. Yes.
So you see a farmer. Now, look at this. The house was always there. It is always there. It was even there in this picture. The farmer was still there in this picture. There is another man here you will see in this picture. And not only this, there is another lady which is hidden in this picture. Very nice picture. Are you able to see this or not?
Lady.
Are you able to see this or not?
Lady. Yes, lady I am
Very
seeing.
nice. Yeah. So see,
Yes.
same picture. Absolutely same picture. And in the same picture, you are able to see different things. Why? Because it's all about perspective. It's our perspective that changes everything in our life. This is the first and the most powerful message that I want to tell you, my dear friend. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at, they change. When we change the way we look at situations, the situations we look at change. When we change the way we look at people, the people we look at change. This is a beautiful quote by Dr. Von Doyer. Bring the same traffic jam. What happened? We are everything, our behavior is responsive, is coming out as a consequence of what we are seeing in that traffic jam. It was always there. The situation was always there. The person, the farmer, the fire, the house was always there. But we need to see with that particular eye. That is the beauty. If we change our perspective, the life is all about perspective. If we start seeing the things as we want to see them, we will always end up creating emotional instability in us. We must understand. The most beautiful art that if we want to create emotional stability, is to start seeing, inspecting the things as they are, but not as we are. So whenever, remember any situation in your life, when you behaved erratically, when people behaved erratically, when they were not the way you wanted them to do, but when you change your mind, you start seeing that situation from a different perspective, your whole situation, your analysis will automatically change. In the middle of every difficulty lies an opportunity. When this COVID, when these pandemic times are being seen by most of us as challenging times, as difficult times, as turbulent times, they are also being seen by many of us as times of opportunity, as times to redesign their life, as times to recreate their lives, as times to reconnect with their own self, as times to create happiness and joy in our own life. This is the beauty of these present times, of uncertain times. I remember a very beautiful story of a person, of a sail person, of a captain who used to sail a cruise ship, steering thousands and thousands of passengers to their journey. He used to face storms, but so beautifully he navigated his ship that every time all his journeys were very, very safe and comfortable. But in his penultimate journey, one day, as he was driving a cruise ship with thousands of people, he faced a very severe and turbulent storm in front of him. And he knew that it was so difficult, it was probably one of the worst storms, that if he tries to drive his ship from the side of the storm, he would be thrown apart and he would not remain stable. He would also lose his life, and all the people will probably lose their life. So what he did was, he started thinking and reflecting. Everybody was wondering that what is he going to do? And after a few seconds, he started driving towards the storm, right into the center of the storm. There was a lot of turbulence. People started shouting, "Oh, what are you going to do? We will all die." He said, "Remain please calm. May I ask you to please mute yourself, brother? Thank you so much." So they asked everybody. So everybody was asking that, "What are you going to do?" "Oh, we are going to die. This is not the way we are going to this. You must find some alternate way." But he was quiet and very persistent about his idea. And he started driving towards the storm. The moment he reached into the center of the storm, he saw that he was absolutely stable. There was storm all around. There was storm all around. But in the center of the storm, their ship was absolutely stable. And when the storm was gone, he started steering a ship again comfortably towards the journey, and people came down applauding him, praising him, and asked him that why did he do so? And he said that in the eye of the storm, you always remain in control. That's the crux. That's the beauty. That's the message, the most powerful second message that I want to give you, my dear friend. That when people, situations, and things are not the way you want them to be, that is the time that we have to take control of our own self, of our own mind, of our own life. That's the key. Emotional stability is not an outward phenomenon. People keep on saying that, "Oh, Dr. Gupta, it was such a motivating lecture. We listened to so many motivating lectures of Brahma Kumari, X, Y, Z on channels of different speakers." No, you must understand today that motivation is an individual phenomenon. I cannot motivate you. It is not possible for anybody to motivate you. What we can do is we can inspire you. People inspire you. You are the person to motivate your own self. It is your own individual responsibility to do that. You have the power to do. The only way you can do it is that you have to change your inside. You have to work on your processor. When things change inside you, things change around you. When there is no inside, the enemy outside cannot do anything. That's the golden rule, the 100% rule. The moment we start changing our inside, we start making our mind our best friend. That's the day we start designing our own destiny. And why this is important? Why this is important? Because 95% of our thoughts, 50,000 thoughts is what you generate every day. Your own power, the power of each one of us is 50,000 thoughts. 90 to 95% of your thoughts are repetitive, are negative, are waste, are purposeless thoughts. So imagine the quality of our existence on earth. If 95% of our processor is revealing the same negative, waste and repetitive thoughts, that means what kind of life? This is the life of a captive. This is the life which is in a prison. We are not able to design it. 48,000 products out of 50,000 are waste and negative. If we choose to empower our single thought, we are mindful of our each thought, that's the day you start designing your destiny. Your mind is like this room, this living room. It has everything that you want in your life, everything. Good clothes, good comfortable furniture, a laptop, a mobile phone, everything. But the moment, but it looks like a stressful room, a clutter, a chaotic room. But moment you start working on your room and change it into a beautiful room, become more organized room, you start seeing a clear picture, a usable picture. The choice is yours to design your destiny. Every thought that you generate in you gives you a choice. That choice gives us a behavior. A single thought gives us a choice. A negative choice gives us a negative behavior. A negative behavior gives us a negative feeling. And that negative feeling will give us a negative emotional reaction. So once we are having 95% of our thoughts which are repetitive and negative, what will be our response in the situation? It will be a reactive behavior. It will be a negative behavior. What will be our physical reactions? It will be anger. It will be mistrust. It will be irritation. What kind of life will we be creating? It will be a negative life. It will be an emotionally unstable life. So if we want to design our life into a completely new life, where do we have to work? We have to work not on these situations. We don't have to work on our body. We have to work on our thoughts. So each one of you, only single positive thought, single positive choice, single positive behavior, positive feeling, positive emotional reaction. Design your destiny. Creating an uncertain future, designing your new future lies in designing your new thoughts. A certain new future is created out of uncertain thoughts. That's the beauty. Repetitiveness is always going to make us a captive of our life. Every thought that we are thinking is creating our own future. So instill positive thoughts into your mind, just like a garden, just like a kid. You sow a simple seed. You sow a simple seed into a garden. What do? Irrespective of how beautiful, how powerful that seed is, you have to water that. You have to nurture that seed. It goes into a beautiful plant. Then as a wonderful gardener, you start trimming that seed. You start trimming that plant so that it comes out and starts flowering very nicely. That is being positive. Every single thought of your mind is like a beautiful seed. Nurture it with positivity. Nurture it with positive emotions. Create, experience that positive vibes in your life. Your outlook will change. You will stay motivated. You will keep people motivated. Your perception will change. Your success will change. Many of people keep on asking me that, oh, we are afraid of getting COVID. We are afraid of getting this. We are fearful. What is going to happen in our life? We are already getting infected by fear. This is a virus which is more powerful even than this little virus, which is still affecting only 0.5 to 1% of our population, but that fear virus has already infected 99% of us. Why should we be affected by fear? Why should I get affected? The moment I choose to get affected, I decrease my immunity, my capability, my resilience power. The body immunity, scientifically it is shown, it goes down, it is destroyed, and I become a captive of those negative emotions, and then I'm more prone to get this infection. I will discuss about this in near future. So pessimism is what is leading to weakness, my dear. And it's optimism that is leading to power. You have to choose to stay optimistic in your life. That is the power. That is the conscious choice that each one of us has to create in our life. Each one of us has to design in our own life. Our thoughts are affecting our own self. Our body, our genes have in our mind. Your thoughts are also having a powerful influence on your family and friends. And your thoughts also are affecting the nature, food, and the environment. Whatever you are having in your life, it is affecting very, very powerfully. Such is the power of your thoughts. So from today, choose to be mindful about every thought that crosses your mind. Instill it with positivity. That's a conscious choice. I have to instill it with a lot of positive and healing power. That's the beauty. That's the way I have to design my destiny. It's all about creating a balance. In these times, while we are trying to eat different positive things for our health, some are having green tea, that, detox tea to keep our immunity healthy. We are having healthy vegetables and fruits in our life. Very important. But check what level of emotional diet we are consuming in our life. Right from morning till evening, look at this. We are chained by digital media, by social media, by print media. We are loaded with information. We are loaded with information. Our day starts with Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, updating the status, reading the same newspaper. Open up a channel now. 100 news channels, 100 of them, not 99, 100 of them will be filled with 99% of negative news. We are having loaded with toxic doses of pain, worry, uncertainty, and fear. We consume, we absorb this energy every day. The moment I choose to read this energy right in the morning, I am absorbing this energy in my life. And the moment I absorb this energy into my ecosystem, I make it part of my life. Then what do? I don't keep it to myself. I have already affected my whole thought process. It has already become polluted and negative, stressful. My capability to understand has already gone down. But I also radiate the same negative energy the moment I forward this button to other people. What is happening in Hyderabad? How many people today? What is happening in Delhi? How many cases? Oh my God, where is it all going to go? We are so much worried, so much negativity. Everything is happening so badly. Oh, I really need to worry. Everything, every time we are ingesting these negative doses, creating so much turmoil, forwarding these things. And what happens? Look at this. Scientifically, I will explain it to you. What is happening? Look at this. It is really having a very powerful. Your life is a consequence of your emotional brain and your rational brain, logical thinking brain. The moment we inculcate feelings of fear, worry, and uncertainty, what happens is our limbic system, which is responsible for the emotional thinking, for the emotional thinking, it takes control of our rational brain, stops rational thinking, and we start thinking emotionally. That is why I ask you, what happens when a person is very, very angry? जब उसको बहुत गुस्सा आता है, तब उसे क्या बोलते हैं? इसकी सोचने और समझने की शक्ति समाप्त हो गई है. His ability to think rationally and logically has gone. The amygdala, it hijacks our brain. It hijacks our rational thinking brain, and then you are not driving your car, but your fear, your negative emotions are driving your car. Look at this. How amygdala hijacking happens? The moment it reaches your emotional brain, your ability to think sensibly, it goes off, it is destroyed. That is what is happening with 90 to 95% of people today in this world. So my third important suggestion to you today is stop toxic consumption of negative emotion. That's called the emotional detox. There is no doubt, by technology, we have become wiser, smarter, and faster. There is no doubt about it. But my question to you is, are we more happier today? Are we more comfortable today in our life? Probably the answer is definitely no. This is the reason, because today we are chained by technology. Right from morning till evening, you see, we are surrounded by technologies, whether it is mobile, whether it is laptop, whether it is television, everybody is chained. This thing has taken a significant toll on our life. That sense of continuously connected with people, that sense of continuously checking the messages, are really, really bad for all of us. It is having catastrophic effect on our mind. Catastrophic effect. It is affecting our high calorie digital consumption, is affecting our brain and thinking. It is affecting our productivity and growth, our relationships and family, and our health and well-being. We have created home within homes. Same home, different rooms, different technologies. We are talking to each other by what? By messaging on WhatsApp. How are you? What are you doing? Oh, I am doing this. Come on, come up. You say you come down. This is the way we are communicating. Science clearly shows that the brains of digital addict are similar to the brains of opium addicts. Absolute similar changes. Where will the emotional stability come from? So my third message to you is, create a digital detox for you. A very simple principle that I'm going to align with all of you today. Very simple and doable. You have 1,440 minutes in a single day. 1,440 minutes. And I suggest you that take out only 160 minutes for yourself. Today, from today, last 60 minutes of the day, when you are going to sleep, let it be a completely e-free zone. No mobile, no WhatsApp, no Facebook, an hour before you are going to sleep. And why this is so is, besides having the blue light effect on your brain, very negative effect, this is the time when your conscious and subconscious brain are connected with each other. Whatever you are thinking, it has to go straight into the subconscious brain, and it will actually mind, and it will affect very powerfully your sleep and the consequences of next day. So very importantly, last moments of the day, they have to be very calm, peaceful, and relaxed. Very, very important. Even in the spiritual path, it is so much important just to disconnect and meditate. Practice gratitude. Be thankful. Just be yourself. Be calm. Listen to some good music. Read a good book. Write something nice. Last 1 hour should be a completely disconnect from technology. Then first 60 minutes of the day when you get up, it should not be a Facebook, Twitter, or a WhatsApp good morning. Again, or the moment you get up, where is my mobile? I want to update. What are the messages that are coming to every day? So many times I see that sense of connection. Why? This is not the way we are supposed to start our day. Again, for first 10 minutes in the morning, your conscious and subconscious brain are in connection. Whatever you put into your brain, your mind, it will go straight into your subconscious mind, and that will become your destiny. You can design your day. So that is why in Brahma Kumaris, what we do, the way we start our life is with powerful positive affirmations, which we are going to reflect today in the end. Very powerful affirmations. And it designs our whole day, customizes our whole day. That is why for last 35 years in Brahma Kumaris, what I always believe is that I can customize my schedule and meditations according to the way I want to do. This is the power that each one of you have. So first 60 minutes, completely disconnect. Not even reading the newspaper, no negative news. And then when you are sitting with your family, 40 minutes when you are with your family, is it possible for us to have a e-free dinner? A e-free dinner when there is no television running, when there is no, mobile phone while you're eating and with your mobile phone like this and you are having, this is not the way we are going to eat our meals. No, as a family, this is a scientific study that shows, which is called the iPhone effect, a smartphone effect, that merely the presence of phone when you are talking to each other will decrease the quality of your conversation by 40%, 25 to 40%. It will make you emotionally unstable. So much is the important to practice digital detoxification in your life. If you need to create, they are so simple things that we can easily do only 160 minutes. Use your whole day according to the way you want them to. So start today. The third practice that we are going to do is practicing digital detox in our life. And look at this, the fourth activity. I ask sister or anybody to unmute and discuss with me. Very, very simple. Let us create a situation, the art of overthinking, the art of creating problems in our life that have never existed in our life. They have never existed. So let us create a yeah, I was muted. Yeah. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a situation, and I will give you 3 simple situations and you have to just answer me honestly what feeling comes to your mind. Reflect in your mind. Be honest to yourself and create that feeling. You are sitting 8 p.m. in your home comfortably. Okay. Now in this situation, somebody in your family is supposed to come back by 5:15 or 5:30 back to your home. It's already 5:30. They have not reached back. You call to their mobile. The mobile says the mobile is switched off and not reachable. What kind of, you call to their office, they have already left. What kind of feelings come to your mind? Positive or negative? One person, one answer. Please.
Negative.
Negative. Beautiful answer. Okay. Now, you can think about your answers. You don't need to even type in chat box. Reflect on yourself. Reflect on your journey. Choose your responses. Now, as we move from 5:30 to 6:30, again, you have your favorite dish lying in front of you. You have the favorite serial television or something that you really love to watch, which is coming on the television. But the person is still not reached back home. You call to their mobile. It's again saying switched off and not reachable. What kind of feelings are there? Negative feelings. Do they remain same or they become more intense?
More intense.
More intense. Yes, everybody would resonate with me. Naturally, it will become more intense. Would you like to eat your favorite dish? Would you enjoy eating that or watching your favorite series at that time? No, naturally, you won't enjoy that. Okay, let us complicate it to the last time. Now it's 7:30. The person has not yet come. Is it possible, hypothetically, is it possible that your negative emotions take the worst possible turn? Yes. Imagining and creating something that you would not like even to imagine? Possible or not possible?
Possible.
Yes.
Possible. Possible.
Accident.
Now, definitely it is possible. Now you can unmute yourself. Mute yourself. Now at 8 p.m., what happens? The door is ringing and the person whom you were waiting for is standing right there in front of you. Your whole 3 hour of that imagination, the whole 3 hour comes out in form of anger and stress. Now look at this. What happened in those 3 hours? You had the choice. Nothing had happened. There was no news. Nothing had absolutely happened. It could have been just that mobile was switched off. It could have been just that, it was out of signal or something wrong happened with the mobile. But your 3 choices, most of us choose to create that hypothetical situation and even created such a castle that we would have never loved to be in that particular situation. This is called the art of emotional imbalancing. One must understand, this is called catastrophizing. 90 to 95% of the people today, why we face emotional instability is because we have that art of creating emotional imbalancing by catastrophic. Your mind works as a projector. It can magnify and minimize everything. It's your choice. A simple, small thing, you can make it so much big. We keep on doing throughout the day. Oh, pata hai usne aisa kiya. Oh, he did such a thing. So bad. Did you tell this particular thing to that person? No. And within few minutes, courtesy WhatsApp, Facebook, and media, everybody is knowing about that little thing. And we have catastrophized those things into a very, very negative thing. But remember, the moment we magnify any particular situation, the emotions associated with it are also magnified. That is what we are doing today. We are magnifying, glorifying, discussing, talking, absorbing, radiating only and only negative situations. And that is why we keep on saying, oh, what has happened to the world? It is so negative. It's not a good place to live in. Why this is happening? It is our responsibility. We are blowing the things out of proportion by continuously thinking about them when we had a conscious choice just to remain calm and cool. The art of emotional stability is to have this umbrella. Have this umbrella, protective umbrella. When things change inside you, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at situations, the situations you look at change. Remember the first quote. Every situation is going to come there, but your whole perception, your belief system, the way you are analyzing that situation, it is going to create your destiny. Your emotional balance is completely dependent on your own self. So the fourth exercise that we are going to do is avoid catastrophizing. छोटी सी बात, कोई बच्चे आते हैं, some children are coming, people are doing something wrong, it doesn't matter. हो गया ना, it happened ना. Let us forgive and forget. Let us remain calm and cool. हो जाता है. Let us have that umbrella. Let us understand the situation and remain calm. In this way, we are able to create harmony and love in our life. My fifth and very simple exercise and suggestion is to create emotional stability. What do we do? Whenever the negative situation is coming, what do? We start blaming people. What are people doing? You open a television serial or television channel right now. 100% I'm going to tell you, you will be seeing a group of people who are sitting, and what they are doing, they are just blaming each other. Would you enjoy if I start throwing dirt at you right at this moment? You would definitely not appreciate that. And there is high possibility you will start reflecting your dirt again on me. This is what is happening throughout in the social, print, or digital media. We are throwing dirt on each other, blaming each other, completely blaming each other. The moment we start blaming each other, there is one emotion that is invariably always associated with blame. Can anybody tell? Only one very powerful. There are hundreds of emotions that are associated, but one very powerful emotion, very harmful emotion, when we start blaming our children, our people, our professional life, our social life, our family members, our elders, our colleagues, when we blame, what do? along with blame to them? What is that one emotion that is always accompanying blame? Any guesses? Anybody can guess that?
Tension.
Tension definitely there. Anybody else can give a different answer? All answers are right. Your all answers, even the typed answers, are absolutely right. But what is that one emotion that is always associated with blame? Anger
Low
is right.
feeling.
Definitely.
Low
Low
feeling.
feeling is right. What is the beautiful and scientific word for that low feeling? That word is
Stress.
guilt. Guilt is the word. The moment we blame each other, we are trying to make that person inculcate that feeling of guilt. Either we feel guilty, we make other people feel guilty, and we enjoy this. Oh, look, you did this. You should be guilty. You should feel. आपको महसूस होना चाहिए. You should have that feeling. I have made that person responsible. It's good. It's important to make that person understand. But there is a way to do that. The moment we put a blame, we take away the respect of that person. We are disarming that person, his ability to see the things as they are. He loses it. What happens? The moment we put blame on each other, we lose the clarity of our mind to see any situation. See it. Bring any situation. Bring the same traffic jam. We start blaming 95% of the people. What were they doing? They were blaming people. They were blaming other drivers. They were blaming other situations. What is happening? And they were not able to see clearly what is actually happening in that traffic jam. Remember this, my dear friends, that whenever we blame any other person, we maintain sight, but we lose insight into our mind. We are able to see, but we lose vision into our thoughts. Our ability, our processor loses its ability to see the things as they are. We become emotionally unstable. This is undesirable. This is not acceptable in the present time. What is happening in the COVID times? This is what we are doing. 90% of us are blaming government, blaming people, blaming situations, blaming this. Oh, they don't understand. He doesn't understand. They have not acted properly. Everybody is doing blame. And the moment we do blame, that vision is lost. Use this thing. Never lose the clarity of sight. Avoid blame. Never blame, accept, understand. Very important in the present times is to understand each other. The moment we have a solution, we embrace the reality, it is then that we have the solution-based approach. Rather than who is responsible, let us see how we can solve the problem. Rather than who generated this problem, we are more responsible. We will instill the confidence that what have you done before that worked? Let us find a solution. Why did you do that? We are not bothered about this. More important is how do we solve this particular situation? That is what is called embracing reality and creating a solution-based approach, an emotionally stable person. You have the power. Every day we are facing these situations. Every day we are facing these situations. Create a very powerful life, a beautiful life by your own power, by your own mindset. My sixth message, a very powerful message, is that what do we do? The slogan of the present time is social distancing. As I can see some of you, you are sitting and at distance to each other until unless we are really sitting in a family. Very, very important for us to distance ourselves. But are we also distancing ourselves emotionally? Look at this. Creating appropriate emotional distancing is also important in our life. Very important. Are we able to do that? Inability to create emotional distancing from negative emotions is something that is disastrous. There is a lot of power the moment we create distancing. Let us take a practical example. Let us go, even if you don't love cricket, please forgive me for next slide, but please be with me in this next journey. Let us imagine this cricket situation that all of us are there in your Hyderabad for a cricket match. You have a beautiful stadium, I know. So let us go and watch that stadium. Now let us see this situation. What is happening is there is an umpire who's standing here. Look at this guy, this gentle guy, who is deciding on one particular situation. And he gives his decision. He says it is out. He has a limited view. He has a less time to respond. But there is another umpire who is sitting who is also seeing the match, but who is not on the pitch, but he is directly involved, but he is having a broad view, multiple views, multiple perspectives, multiple things. And he's able to decide properly by seeing the same situation from a distance. And when he sees the same situation from a distance, he gives you a more correct and a more appropriate answer. Isn't it? It happens. Both of them are right. The first person had a limited time, so he gave a different situation. The other person who had a broader perspective, a multiple perspective analyzing the same situations, he completely gave a fantastic and a completely different answer to that same situation. Why this is happening? Because this guy is sitting at a distance. He's not involved. He's not in the pressure. This is what is called the art of non-judgmental awareness. What we call in Brahma Kumaris as the Sakshi Drishta. The moment we emotionally distance, look at this. The moment we distance ourselves from any particular situation, we become aware of the actual facts of the situation. But the moment we are behaving like the umpire on the pitch, we are just aware of the story that I am telling myself based on the limited view and the limited facts. This is what we do. What I am seeing, remember the same traffic. You bring the same traffic situation. 95% of the people, they are behaving like a umpire at the pitch. Impulse, I tell, oh, traffic is an anger. I start behaving, honking, shouting, and behaving erratically. But when I choose to take a pause, third umpire is taking advantage of the pause. When I choose to take a pause, I become aware of the actual facts of the situation. And the moment I become aware of the actual facts of the situation, I'm able to decide properly. That is why to inculcate emotional distancing is very important in your family. 90 to 95% reason for the emotional turmoil in the family, of the divorces, of the negative things in the family today, the statistics have gone out. Interestingly, I went to a chemist to ask him what is happening to the sales of the antidepressants and anxiety tablets. He said they are out of bounds. They don't have these tablets available because anxiety relationships are in a turmoil today. They have taken a significant toll. Reason? Because we are not distancing ourselves from the facts. It is very important to distance ourselves, to have a fact-based, unbiased, introspective, a mind that listens and accepts. This is the key. Accepting each other in your relations. Accept first. Accept the person. Don't react. Accept. Oh, it happened. It doesn't matter. It happens with everyone. Now, don't worry. We will solve it together. If the things, your meals is not prepared according to the way you want, it doesn't matter. If things are not the way you want, it doesn't matter at all. Just I will be relaxed. Like a third umpire. Become a third umpire in your home. Detach. Let the children do something. But when the signs is appropriate, explain them gently and politely. Oh, don't worry. It does happen. But you have the capability to change. You are an empowered soul. This is what is called true leadership. This is what I call having a beautiful emotional stability by practicing emotional distancing from the situations. Practice, my sixth and very simple message to you. And my dear friends, my seventh message, the second last message that I'm going to do. How many times I, being a doctor, I have to go to the office, to the hospital, 100 times we have to sanitize ourselves. We have to wash our hands. We use shields to, protect ourselves. Every time we are practicing those hygienic things, very, very important. But my question to you is that emotional hygiene is a conscious choice that each one of you has to create. May I ask any one of you to unmute and participate with me. Let us see. Let us create a situation. We are almost reaching at the end, and let us imagine this situation. Let us see this situation. That if, give me an honest answer. Create an honest answer in your own life and understand. Just create your own answer for your own self. If one person has done something wrong to you, 10 years back, and that person has disappeared out of your life, and after 10 years, again, he really hurted you, you felt that pain in your life, and 10 years down the lane, that person again comes right there in front of you. What kind of emotions come to your mind? Honestly, a very honest answer. What
Negative.
kind of negative emotions come to your mind? Negative emotions come to your mind. Yes.
Anger, that is negative.
Negative emotions. Most of you are typing that yes,
Anger.
negative emotions. Yes, go ahead. Negative emotions. Why does it happen? Why does it happen? Hatred. People are saying anger. I feel really bad to see him. Why does it happen? There's a reason. There's a reason. Because we choose to. You can mute yourselves now. Why does it happen? There is a very simple reason.
Because we carry.
Because this happens because we are carrying that particular thing into your mind. What thoughts we create in our mind can lead to either a weed state or it can grow into a garden. Keeping the same negative thoughts, holding on to the same negative situations will always lead to a negative mindset. Remember that rule, that negative behavior, that negative mindset in your mind. So it is important to choose what kind of thoughts. If we choose to take a bath every day, if we want to clean our home, may I ask you to please mute Mahesh Bhai? Very, very important. Thank you. If we choose to, very important, if we choose to bathe ourselves, if we choose to clean our life, our body every day, equally important for us is to clean our mind also every day. Very important. Check the kind of emotions that we are living with. Check the kind of things, of thoughts that we are living with. Take a few minutes to let go of the feelings of anger, of regret, of worry, of hatred and pain. These are the most negative feelings. That feeling of competition and criticism, that feeling of expectations. We have become embodiment of all these feelings. The moment we understand that we have to make our mind clean, the moment we understand that it's natural to create anger, but it's natural to be loving. It's natural to be accepting for others, to create acceptance in our relation. It's natural to have that feeling of compassion for each other, to accept people as they are. It's not natural for us to hate, to have that feeling of understanding and adaptability. And this is what is called life, my dear friend. These times tells us that if we need emotional stability, we must learn today to hold hands and not grudges. We must be having the power to use that communication with our vibrations of love, peace, and purity. This is me, this is your own self. Your vibrations are going to determine the kind of atmosphere that you create in your home. And I've learned to live in my life that meditation is the most powerful tool to do that. As we feel, as Sister nicely introduced in the beginning, that we are locked up in our home, we are quarantined in our home, we are isolated in our home. Meditation is a spiritual quarantine. It's a quarantine that's a conscious choice that each one of us has to create in our life. Each one of us has to create in our life. It is something that we have to do for our own self. It is something that each one of us have to do for our own self. And the art of meditation can be simply understood by the simple exercise. May I ask one last time, any person, any admin, to just unlock themselves and see. Is it along with me? Yes? Any person there? Mahesh Bhai?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
Who is there?
yes, brother.
Yeah. Tell me,
Yes, brother.
look at this. My question to all of you is, is it easy to read this or is it easy to read this?
This one is easy.
This
Second
one
one
or
is
this
easy.
one? Second
Yes,
one is easy.
Second one.
Can anybody answer? Can anybody answer? The content of both the things are same. What it is written here is same words are written here. But why it is easy for me to read this? Why?
it
Because
is
it's
in
very
order.
Martha
One,
is given spaces.
Because of space.
because of space. Because of space. That's the answer that we must have. Please mute yourselves. Everybody mute yourselves. That is what we need to understand. That is what we need to understand. The moment we are leading a life of no spaces. Bring that traffic jam. No space. That pause is not there. The moment there is no pause, it becomes difficult for me to reflect in a situation and becomes a turmoil. My responses change into a reaction. The moment I take that pause button, I give space to myself, it changes to a response, a mindful behavior. So meditation is giving about space to your thoughts. The clarity increases and the effort decreases. We start thinking slow. We start thinking better. And we start thinking less also. The moment we start thinking less and slow, the quality of our thoughts, the energy of our thoughts is far better. So meditation, Raj Yoga meditation is one of the finest ways I've seen to give space to your mind. One of the most powerful ways to give space to your soul, to encourage the qualities of peace, of love, of happiness, of power, knowledge, and purity. And when we have all these 6 qualities, it is then that we experience the state of anandam, or what we call bliss, as the happiness beyond senses. My dear friends, it is pertinent to mention in the last that while all of us are today working with this logical brain, with a scientific brain, what most of us call as karma yogis, I believe in karma. Very important. It's good that you believe in karma. You are realistic. You are logical. You are strategic. You are practical. You are analytical. You are accurate. You are decisive. No doubt. But you are having only 50% success. The moment we start working with our meditative mind, a balanced, emotionally balanced mind, the left brain is harmonized with the right brain, the creative brain, the passionate brain, the vivid brain, the poetic brain, the loving brain, the intuitive brain. It is then that we create balance in our life. This is what meditation is all about. This is what science tells us, that moment we do, it completely creates a harmony. Look at this picture. This is your picture when you're working normally. A person which is anxious, 95% of us, anxious, depressed mind, a completely lack of harmony between both the atmospheres. And when we do only 15 minutes of meditation, look at this, only 15 minutes of meditation, see how beautifully harmony is created in our mind. 25 minutes, this harmony is absolutely complete. We are now redesigning, reshaping our brain to respond better. It's a much integrated, much better performing processor now. An optimized performing, optimally performing processor. This is what meditation is all about. So my dear friends, my message to you in the end is, inculcate out of 1,445 minutes. I'm saying, take out only 15 to 20 minutes in the morning and 15 to 20 minutes in the evening to practice Raj Yoga meditation. One of the simple and the finest ways to empower yourself, to reflect on your own thoughts, to create your own beautiful life. Let us sit and reflect for a few seconds and understand the power of meditation. Enjoy and end this beautiful journey with mindful Raj Yoga meditation. Just sit back and relax. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Loosen your body. Focus every before. You are a shining star. A shining star, a powerful star, an illusion, a conscious illusion. Just be aware of every thought that crosses your mind. Look at the quality of the thoughts. Why do I experience pain, fear, anger, worry, negativity in my thoughts? These are my thoughts. I am the master creator of them. I have to choose the kind of thoughts that I am creating. Let me clean this energy. I'm powerful, shining soul. Experience the power of peace, love, and happiness, empowering your mind. Every thought is peaceful. Every thought is loving and powerful. I choose consciously to let go of the feelings of anger, of worry, and uncertainty in my life. I'm a loving individual, a loving conscious being. I'm a pure soul, a shining soul. My power of creating is energizing every thought that I create. A lot of purity and love. Just experience with silence, with power. Experience a positive aura, an emotional positive aura around you, around this cosmos. God's love, God's power, God's direction, God's purity is creating a powerful aura around me, and I am protected too. I radiate the same to every soul in this universe, giving them control, healing them of their pain. I'm steady, moving. Let me be in this state, very powerful state of being. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. So this is the journey that we all have to do. We have the power to do it. You have the power to create that destiny. Nobody else is going to do it for you. If we want to create that stability, it's our own conscious choice. Miracles are not going to be created outside, but we can create miracles every day in our life. There is a necessity to do that in our life. Redesign your thoughts and redesign your emotions by your own choice. Shanti, and thank you.
That was a nice quote ending with redesign your thoughts, redesign your feelings and emotions. This is how we can become the master creators of our own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Thank you so very much, Dr. Mohitji. So nicely, you have taken the subject, the topic very smoothly. You have put so many thoughts, and one by one, like 6 things you have given. And all the 6 things, I'm sure from all the participants' side, I'll say that they all will practice, and all of us will practice, and definitely we will succeed to achieve emotional engineering or re-engineering our own emotions. So thank you very much for your time. And from all the Sunday evening participants, usually these participants come to Shanti Sarovar every week regularly. And since lockdown, we had some other programs, but Sunday evening talk was paused. So once again, you put new zeal and enthusiasm in everyone's mind, because it is very important. Everyone is so much fearful, and lots of emotional instability is happening. From a doctor's mouth, when it comes, it makes more sense than a general person. So you are the right person to give that motivation. Of course, you have said that motivation no one can give. It is our own instinct, but you have inspired everyone to have this kind of lifestyle, and every day practicing meditation is a solution for all the situations of our own selves inside as well as the external world also. So
Thank you.
thank you for your time,
So much.
and thank you all the participants also. They were very, very active. They were active with chat backs and sending the chats about their feelings. Whatever question you raised, they were actually answering. So thanks to all the participants also, and hope you have taken lot of inspirations from Mohit Bhai. And from now itself, we will start in our life to be more strong emotionally, mentally, so that we can face all the situations very smoothly and easily. And at the end, I would like to announce everyone that every Sunday evening talk will be there from now onwards. So different speakers, because physically it is difficult to get all these speakers like Mohit Bhai, very, very, very busy person. But this time we could able to grab him and his time to be with us this evening. So next week also we will have Professor Swaminathan ji, who will be throwing light on different topics, different subjects, which will empower our minds once again. So I invite all the participants to join with this youth Zoom meetings, webinars, and also inform all your friends and relatives to take this opportunity, because it is very essential time to spend with our own selves, time with our own selves, our own family, which also will empower ourselves. So those who don't know about our details, to get the updates of program infos, you can register in our Shanti Sarovar website, which is www.shantisarovar.org, as well as to get the information of live streaming and video uploads. You can subscribe in our Shanti Sarovar YouTube channel also, which is youtube.com/Shanti Sarovar HYD. So you can subscribe in our YouTube channel also, so that you can get all the updates. So hope with these things, with these inputs, you will spend next 1 week So it's a kind of medicine we have taken, which will work for whole week. But of course, everyday dose also is very important. Like Dr. Saab said, every morning when we get up, our consciousness should be and how our thinking should be, so that that will carry on all our emotions and feelings also. So definitely you all will take these doses of meditation also as medicine, which will impact in your actions also and feelings also, so that we all will become emotionally strong and balanced. So once again, I thank Mohit Bhai from the
Shanti.
Shanti Sarovar and the Kuldeep Didi from Kuldeep Didi side also. Thank you for your time. And we look forward to see you more and more in Sunday evening
you.
talks.
Sure.
Once it all finished, this episode will finish. We want to see you physically also in Shanti Sarovar.
Yeah, sure.
And definitely we will take more benefit from your presence here also.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Nearly 200 people taken benefit this time. And of course, this will be there in YouTube. So more and more will take benefit from the session. Thank you very much.
Om Shanti.
And Om Shanti. So Om Shanti. And next week we will meet all of you with next another important topic. Thank you very much. Om Shanti. Good night.